know like you picked up from straight from the campus.
There was no training as such, so I had like 20 days of time.
How was your interview experience like?
It has helped me to understand the curiosity which I had about tech in my childhood. So it was a dream come true. I had a very less exposure to the corporate world. There are some happy moments as well as not so happy moments in the work. Money is something that you need, and knowledge is the one which you need to have to acquire that.
What is your take on women's safety in the workplace?
Women's safety is one of the most important aspects that every organization should follow. If, there are certain things which are not in place. In organization, I think this is still not implemented. So I believe this also, if this everything is in things, then it will be better.
Hi everyone, welcome to Tech's Ups and Downs. In this series of episodes, we are going to interact with technical experts and IT professionals. In each episode, we will deep dive into the experience of our guest, learn from their role and challenges they faced. In today's episode, we have with us a young professional who has 1.5 years of experience in front-end development. Let us welcome our today's guest, Ms. Srishali. Hi Srishali, welcome to today's episode.
Hello, Suman.
Let us start our discussion with what drove you into technology world. Was it out of passion or someone pushed you in?
Yeah, so I have always been fascinated about tech since my childhood. So this inspired me to pursue a career in computer science. So this strong passion of mine has drove me to pursue a career in IT.
What were your college experience like? Like how it drove you to the technology?
Yeah, so my 4 years of engineering was really amazing. It has helped me to understand the curiosity which I had about tech in my childhood. So it was a dream come true, I can say that. So in my college days, I have worked on numerous projects both independently and collaboratively. So this has helped me to lay a strong foundation in technical skill. And I also had a very good tech savvy friends who has always helped me to stay updated with the latest technology. We used to share knowledge, learn from each other. So all these things help me to develop my interest towards IT.
Yeah, having a better circle is very good approach. And what kind of project you did? Like personally, which project you felt it is a challenging one?
Yeah, so my most of the projects were on React, and I also have done some of the projects on Python, machine learning as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As I remember, like in the last semester, that is the 8th semester, you people are assigned to internship project. How was your internship experience, and how did your college experience help you in the internship?
Yeah. I have done like 2 internship, and both the internship were virtual. So one was on React.js, another one was machine learning. So since both were virtual, I had a very less exposure to the corporate world. But I have developed, that 2 internship had laid a strong technical foundation in technical skill. So these 2 internships, it has helped me to understand how things works in the corporate, how to prioritize the deadline. So in college, we normally don't take deadlines very seriously, but when it comes to the corporate world, the deadlines, it matters a lot. Also, I learned how to manage time, how to balance the task, and also collaborate with the team. So all these things were new experience for me, which has helped me for my upcoming journey.
Was it your was it a COVID batch?
It was not a COVID batch. I can tell it as a post-COVID batch.
Okay. Like 2023 somewhere?
Yeah, like I was in second year. So when the
Oh,
COVID
okay.
started. It was not a COVID batch.
Yeah, great to know that you worked in a React and you, before coming to the IT, you had a great experience and knowledge in React. So, yeah, let us talk about the organization. I know like you picked up from straight from the campus. How was your interview experience like?
Mhm. So my interview was completely based on React, and I had also mentioned to the interviewer that I have done an internship in React, so that was quite impressive for them. So yeah, they had most questions were on React, and they had asked my internship experience, like why did I choose React as a in the internship. So yeah, so it was a good decision of mine to take React to do internship in React. Yeah.
So how did they decide like you are best fit into the React? Did you tell them that you have an interest on it, or how did they choose you?
Yeah, so I have mentioned that I have done an internship in React, and also they have asked me the project which I had worked on during the internship day. So they were quite impressed with that, and also the most of the questions were on React. That they had they wanted to see how good I am, not only in theoretic as well as practical. So the most of the questions were of that kind. So yeah.
So prior project
Yeah,
experience helped you
project
in the.
experience. Yeah, so mainly the company was working on, like they had many projects on React, and they were looking for a person who had some experience in React. So yeah, I had, so that was the
Okay.
plus point.
During your training period, like you have first thing, did you allocate it directly into the project, or you were in some training batch, or then you allocated
Yeah.
into the project? How it is?
It was, there was no training as such. So I had like 20 days of time before resigning to the project. So they had explained me what project is, what is my roles and responsibility. They have given me 20 days of time to understand the project and do a self-learning. So I was given an access to many learning platform where I can do a self-learning and understand things better. So in corporate, it is not only about the project, it is also about the workflow, the coding standards you need to follow. All those things comes, the methodology, you know. So they have given me some days of time to make myself comfortable with the project so that I can give my best. So this 20 days was completely a self-learning, and also like I had like a, not I won't tell it as a mentor but a manager. I used to reach out to him whenever I had doubts, whenever I wanted to learn more about it, so that to, to stay on a correct track. So yeah, this is how it helped me to learn and understand.
When they picked you up, did they give any profile to you like a React developer, or did they tell like you have to work in a multiple platforms? How it was like?
Mhm. So the first day of my office, so they had already knew that I had worked on React previously, like during my internship. So they had given me the React profile as well, React profile only. Yeah, so they had asked me to learn certain technology which will help for the project.
Okay.
So,
Oh, how was your journey as a trainee?
as a trainee, yeah, that 20 days was, quite good. Like it was completely self-learning, so it was a nice journey. I, reached out to my colleagues, manager, whenever I had doubt.
So when you were a trainee, did your company give an insight of all the departments, or only the department where you are going to work?
Yeah. So we had a onboarding process. So where we were briefed about all the departments that are there. So yeah, we were given an like idea what exactly happens in our department. What is my roles and responsibility. We were given an option, to understand, decide.
Yeah, it's always a better choice to interact with the trainee, understand their like passion, and then decide what role they are fitting. Once after you got promoted as associate, how was the transition happened, and what was the one thing you learned and carried forward?
So as a graduate stepping into the corporate world, a series of transition happens. So this transition, it becomes smooth when you have right people around you, right, when you get a right guidance. So this transition, it becomes smooth. So in my case, I had a right people around me who always helped me out whenever I was stuck. I start a fresher, will have a lot of questions like what to do, how to manage things. So when you have right people around you, things becomes actually easier. So I was fortunate that I had a good set of people around me. Yeah, and
Yeah, good to know. Like you always pick a good circle
yeah,
that
I'm
will help you
fortunate.
to that help you to boost your career as well.
Yeah. So initially, I faced some challenges in understanding the process since it was completely new. Uh, yeah, like the methodology, we have to follow certain coding standards of methodology. To understand that as well, to learn technically, to upgrade the skills, and also to develop soft skills. So all these things were going simultaneously. So I had to
Mhm.
manage all of these things together. So at certain point I was feeling little low. There were both happy and not so happy moments as well. But I somehow managed it because I've come so far, and yeah, I have managed it somehow, and I'm happy about it.
Um, when you are allocated to when you are assigned to the project, coding takes backseat. First challenging thing is to understand the project and know the functionality. So how challenging it was for you to understand the project and how did you overcome that?
Yeah. So it was an ongoing project. So I had to understand the project. I have to understand the project domain, and then comes the technology that is being used. Since React was used in that, so I was familiar with the React. It has helped me a lot. And also next the methodology, the process they follow in developing the project. So all these three things I had to master. So initial days were challenging for me as I had to focus on the three simultaneously and work on that. But yeah, I have reached out to people related to that domain, and I've tried gaining as much knowledge required for the project. Yeah.
Good to know, like you are aware of most of the project things, like how the team functions. So when you talk about a methodology, which methodology you are mentioning about? Is it about the agile methodology or the project structure you are talking about?
Yeah. So I'm talking about the agile methodology which
Okay.
we follow in my organization.
Okay. So every sprint you will be allocated some task.
Yeah.
How do you see the agile methodology? Is it very helpful, or of that agile methodology you see any better pace in the gathering a requirement and getting a work done?
Yeah. So since this is my first organization, I have worked on agile methodology. So I can't comment about other methodology since I have not worked on it. I have just a theoretical knowledge about how those methodology works, but since I have not worked on it, I can't comment about it. So agile methodology, I believe it is one of the efficient way, to deliver the task. Yeah. So initially it was difficult. I had theoretical knowledge about agile methodology, but putting it in a practice and working in that methodology, it was not quite simple. So for what was done is for the first sprint, I was not allocated to any task. I was just being a part of the meeting and trying to understand how the things were working. So that was quite helpful, and in the next sprint I was able to grasp things and work on it.
Yeah. Uh, Good to know how the things works in your workspace. Uh, Let us talk more about the coding or a technology you're working on. What is the one thing all front-end developers should learn when you talk about React or JavaScript, HTML and other CSS? What is the core thing everyone should be aware of?
Yeah, so when it comes to a front-end development, I believe React is one of the most powerful tool. So for the developer, starting, wants to build your career in a front-end, you have to start with HTML. That is a basic thing. So once you master HTML and CSS, then you can go to JavaScript. So JavaScript is a base for React. So once you learn about JavaScript, once you are good with the JavaScript, you can move into React. So React is much way better than other framework, and it is one of the popular one as well. So when it comes to React, you have to learn the component life cycle. That is the first thing. You have to understand how the component works, and then about the state management, which plays a very major role in React. How to manage the complex state. So when you have that knowledge properly, then it will be very useful for you. There are many other libraries like React Router. So once you are thorough with the state management, you can move into that area, and yeah, and then comes familiarizing with the entire UI.
Yeah, it's nice to know about the roadmap of the front end development. In fact, in the React, let me ask you, if anyone want to learn React, what is the first thing they have to do?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, the first thing for any front-end development is the base is HTML and CSS. So once you are done with that, you can move to JavaScript and then comes React. So in React, as I mentioned, there are 4 to 5 stages which you have to follow and which you have to learn. That is how you can develop your proficiency in React.
Rapidly evolving technology world, how one can keep up to date of his knowledge on React or other things. For example, React has released version 18 this year. How some people may find it difficult to upgrade to that 18 or the 17 version if they are working in version 14. So what is the one tip, or how do you keep yourself up to date?
So it's a good question, and I think this question is for you since you have vast years of experience. So you have seen many evolution in the tech, and I've just started my career. So what I can say is always be updated with the technology. Yeah.
Absolutely, you are right. One should keep himself up to date to know the latest technology, and also it is very important to stick on to their basics. If you want to learn any new technology, it is equally important to know the basics of that technology. To move on, have you ever worked past 7 p.m. in your office? What is your take on women's safety in the workplace?
Mhm. So, women's safety is one of the most important aspect that every organization should follow. So, I believe like most of the organization are following that. There is zero tolerance for harassment, and there is a lot of programs, to make people aware that how important women's safety is and what is the consequence. What is the consequence if you does not follow that? So it is one of the most important thing that everyone should know. And I believe there are certain things which are not in place. There should be like every organization should follow. Every organization should provide a CAF facility to women after 7. So there are certain organization, I think this is still not implemented. So I believe this also, if this everything is in things, then it will be better.
Yeah, I do agree, and even managers should take care of those things. If a woman is working past 7 p.m. in the workspace, then they should make sure that she should get a proper security measure till she reach the home. So, yeah, at last, I would like to ask about one thing. Do you really enjoy your work life? How do you balance between your work life and personal life? As you are like a young professional, how your generation people see your work life and the personal life?
Mhm. It's actually a good question. Yeah, as I said, there are some happy moments as well as not so happy moments in the work. Yeah, there are certain challenges I had faced, and even now I do face that. But I think this is a learning. There is no stop for it. It is completely a learning. I learn from my mistakes. I try to minimize the error. I try to deliver quality work every time. So this is kind of adventurous, I can say.
Moving on to next question. Do you feel like increment or a promotion in the workplace will help you to boost your skills or help you to uh, pursue your career more interestingly?
Yeah, this is an interesting question. So this increment are kind of recognition that will make you feel that you're on the right track. You're doing something good. When you're incremented or when you're promoted, you know that what the quality of work you're delivering is correct and you're on the right track, so that you can focus more and minimize the error and minimize the error as well as meet the deadlines and deliver a quality product. So it is a kind of recognition which will boost you to be more better. Yeah. So I think it is, it's nice to promote our increment.
Yeah, I can make out by seeing you the excitement what you throwed out. It was too good. Yeah, everyone work for money, but on a closing note, if you see like two perspective, whether a person should work for money or knowledge, what is your take on that?
Yeah, so money is something that you need, and knowledge is the one which you need to have to acquire that. So knowledge plays a very crucial role throughout your life. So investing in knowledge is one of the most important thing that everyone has to do.
Yeah, and it's nice to interact with the young professional who has a wealth of experience and knowledge. It is nice to talk to you, and thank you for accepting my invitation and sharing your moments in your organization. Thank you, Srishali.
Thank you so much.
Now it's time to say goodbye to all my viewers. Stay tuned for more interactive and fun-filled episode. Until then, goodbye.